What if I told you that a student crushed under the weight of expectations, pressure, and a broken system could turn into something society never anticipated? A rebel, an outcast, a so called terrorist in long run? Let's see that. Welcome to today's discussion, where we dive deep into a powerful poem, A Terrorist in Long Run. This thought provoking piece captures the struggle of an Indian student trapped with a rigid system that values conformity over creativity, grades over intellect, and control over individuality. Written with raw emotions and intense metaphors, this poem speaks for many young minds who feel unheard, unseen, and unimportant in the larger structure of education and society. It raises essential questions like: does our system truly nurture talent? Or does it manufacture frustration that the long run turns into defiance? This poem is a harsh critique of societal norms, the education system, and the family pressures. It takes us through the mental journey of a student who feels borrowed, imprisoned, exploited, and ultimately lost. Let's break it down stanza by stanza and understand what does it say exactly. The very first stanza is: an Indian student am I, with borrowed dress and brain, a problem of country present, by problem polluted brain. That nectar turns in poison with world of self existence. This deals with a student without identity. The poet begins with the idea that the speaker is an Indian student but feels his thoughts and identity as borrowed, not his own. His brain is polluted by a system that should have nurtured him but instead turned nectar into poison. The next stanza is: freezes my life on yellow leaves, a fuel to eyes flamed fire. Being severed from parental nest, an elephant am I in mire. Low cuts and licks of fox in mutton endanger soul's existence. This defines the struggles of detachment. The next few lines depict the pain of separation from parents, from one's true self, and from freedom. The poet uses imagery of decay, yellow leaves, and trapped strength, an elephant in mire, to reflect hopelessness. The metaphor of foxes cutting into mutton suggests opportunistic individuals preying on the weak. The next lines are: master's ego in family head exasperates my strain house, just flooding holes with smoky waves often makes me rainy day mouse, unfit to live in sun and shower, as villain of tragic suspense. This shows the family expectations as a burden. A major highlight of this poem is the role of family pressure. The ego of the household head creates an environment where the student feels suffocated, unseen, and reduced to a rainy day mouse. That means that someone very insignificant. The next lines are: thus a patient of neural paralysis, disable to change my sights in haste, bugs, mosquitoes wearing night duty, syringe my blood for laboratory test. Oh, make this body for myself a mountain, a dwelling place of Dhamoi in set. This shows the emotional and mental paralysis. The poet then compares the student to a patient of neural paralysis, completely powerless to change his condition. The mention of mosquitoes and laboratory tests suggests the constant exhaustion, as if he is being drained of his life force, merely an experiment in society's grand design. The next few lines are: a pitch of turning road here be a kicks of all in num. Measuring merit on paper based to teacher give my thumb. Thus, handicapped in the age of flight, a terrorist in long run. This shows a victim of an unfair system. Perhaps the most striking lines are when the poet states that the speaker's merit is measured on paper, and he is forced to give his thumbprint to teachers, referencing Eklavya's sacrifice. The poet questions a system that cripples students in an age of progress. It also shows the ultimate irony, like a terrorist in the making. The final lines deliver the most shocking conclusion: a terrorist in long run. This is not about radical extremism, but about how constant suppression, frustration, and loss of identity can create individuals who feel like outsiders, rebels, or threats to the very system that was supposed to be a part of. So, here we have done all. A terrorist in long run is more than just a poem, and it is a mirror which is reflecting the struggles of millions and millions of students who feel unheard in a system that values obedience over originality. It forces us to question: are we raising thinkers or just manufacturing future outcasts? So, this very beautiful poem by Professor Dr. Ramnarayan Tiwari shows the real ground of education system of India and how students have become the victim of it. We will come again with different literary works which just blow your mind, of different authors, writers, literary canons. But you have to keep yourself updated for it, and you better know that what you have to do for it. We'll meet soon. Thank you.